Hi there, welcome to another video. Today I'm looking at a Bose Sound Touch 300 remote, and basically this remote works absolutely fine, but the only issue right now is that it's quite a premium remote. It feels quite heavy as well, so quite nice. Anyway, so it's got this texture on it, and it's with time it gets sticky. You can see that, and for some reason Bose have chosen to use the same material on these new Ultra and 900 remotes as well, which is the same condition. So basically this is going to get sticky after a while. It feels nice when you buy it on the cover, and within a year you'll notice that it'll start to either get sticky or just starting to lose its texture. Don't know why they use this material, because it's not good at all. But anyway, so here's the fix for that. So basically this remote is, at the moment, it's quite sticky. I'm not going to use any liquid or anything. I'm going to leave it sticky as it is, because that's going to be working in our favor. This is just a label on it to say what it is. So as you can see, the label was stuck when it was bought new, so that's absolutely fine, but apart from the outside is all sticky right now. So let's just get to it. I'm going to wrap this with a black film. So we bought the black film from Poundland. There it is, Pepco vinyl roll, easy to apply, and I didn't take the label off, so I wanted to make sure I demonstrate that's where I bought it from. So let's see if we can actually have this wrap on this remote at the back, all of it, so it should be nice and glossy and shiny. So we're going to open this remote first of all to make sure, so the cover comes off. That's the easy part. It's everything else that we need to take off as well. The tools we'll need is a screwdriver to remove two screws. There's a screw over here underneath and a screw there. So once we remove the screws, we'll have to work our way around and unclip it. And we'll use these sharp edge tools. We'll need a sharp knife, and we'll use another tool to unlock it. So basically work our way around it. So you'll hear clicking noises, and that means that it's unclipping. So we'll work our way around quickly. Let's see if it actually works. So that piece is coming off now, as you can see. It is quite firm, and we're going to use that all the way around. And this piece here as well, and here. I don't believe we need to use this part here, because that is a separate section on the remote. So we'll do the bottom bit and the top bit here, and see if we can get this out that way, because it seems to be coming out. Just use a bit of common sense technique to push this out. If we can get it off. Excellent, there we go. So it is coming off now, and it's all come off automatically. It's leaving its that's it. Luckily the plastic is a bit flexible, so we can easily veg it in. We can probably apply a little bit of pressure as well. Yeah, that goes that way, inwards, and the other one will go outwards. So you can see that it's coming off. Once that is detached, we'll have, there we go, that's come off as well. There we are. And then that would release, hopefully. Here we go, that comes off. So yeah, luckily nothing, no pins have snapped or anything. So that's the top plate off. We're not going to do anything on the top plate, so we're going to leave that as it is. That's all fine. We can wash it if we have to, but apart from that, this is looking good. I might just put some scratch cleaner to make it nice and shiny again, but that's about it. So that's come off. That's the rubbers and the buttons, and this as well. So we don't need any of this. This is not the part we want to use. Let's remove this as well. We don't need the board, so that's all working fine. the amazing part is that these Bose have used weights in this remote to make it feel as if it's a premium remote. So every time you lift the remote, and also I think the reason why they used that as well, because when you put the batteries in, it kind of tips. So what they've done is try to level it out with the batteries. I mean, now is a chance. If you want this remote to be really light, you can always remove these weights in this remote. So basically you remove the screw and bang all these 3 weights out. There are 3 weights at the moment in this remote that are stuck. 1, 2 and 3. Once you remove the weights, this remote is light as a feather. It's really light right now, so I mean, I'm quite inclined to remove these weights to see if it works, how it feels without those weights on them. So let's see, where is it gone? Oh yeah, here's the screw. So yeah, that's entirely up to you if you want to keep the weights in there or remove them. That's entirely up to you, but I thought I'd just mention it because you sometimes see these things in devices where you think, oh, you know, probably I'd be happy if it was quite lightweight and I didn't want it to be heavy. But a lot of the time when you pick up items and they're heavy, you feel that, oh, they're premium, they're quite nice, there must be a lot of stuff in them, but that's how premium it is, that it's just got weights in it. Right, getting back to the point of what we want to do. Now we have to take the infrared sensor or infrared plate out as well. So we'll have to gently, there are clips on this, so we'll have to remove these 4 clips. There's 1, 2, 3 and 4 each edge. So you press those down gently and then let them come off. Here we go, that one comes out, that one comes out. So now once we press the clips, we'll remove that. Once that comes off, we can see that this is the area we need. So this is the area we need to actually put film on, and of course the back plate as well. So let's get onto it and see how it feels. Right, so here's the film. I was thinking it might be glossy, but this is actually matte, which I'm still not fussed about, as long as it can get rid of the sticky part, which I hate at the moment on the remote. It's getting so sticky. So we're going to cut a piece out and we're going to put that on there and put that on there as well. So let's see, how much do we need to cut? To say roughly, we'll cut about there. So we take the remote, have a rough guesstimate that this is how much we will probably need. And then we'll just basically use this marker line here all the way down, and we'll use this one to cut it so we know which line we're going to be cutting. So let's take a piece of scissors and cut it all the way. It's going to be interesting. There we go, so we've cut that out, and then if we were to see it, this is how it's going to look. It's going to be wrapped up, and then hopefully we'll get a nice black finish on this remote. So let's see, how much do we want from there? So that's probably about there, which is not a lot, so let's cut that out from there. The only piece we need is this here, so that film will go on this section, and for the bottom part we'll use this, and that film, I think if I'm right in doing so, let's use this part here. Let's sit, yeah, that looks alright, and we're going to try to pull it that way as well. And this is where the technique comes in of vinyl wrapping, is that it stretches. Well, that's how it works, because it all should stretch and allow me to remove all the creases, because it has elasticity to wrap itself around different product in different areas. Right, so we'll need a hairdryer or a hot air gun. I mean, hot air is a bit excessive because it'll blow too much hot air. Right. now that we've got the hairdryer working. So usually what I'll do is I'm going to apply the heat on there. What that does is that takes the creases out, and will also so we'll take all the creases out by heating this up. That's it. I think we remove all the creases. Let's see if we can now peel this. Oh yeah, that's a good sign. It's peeling right now. Here we go. I'm going to peel this and stick this on at the back of the remote, like so. Wrap itself around, and we're going to take it all the way to the edge and see if we can curve it in, and do the same on this side, and do the same on this side as well. Just hoping that will stick. Now this is where the hot air gun will come in, because we need to now shape it. Let's see if we can now idea that we'll be able to shape this thing without any creases of it looking at this thing. Let's see. Keep doing it. You will need can see it's trying to mold itself to the item that we're putting it on automatically, and if we see any creases we can always pull it and make it into the shape we need it, a bit like wrapping a car, of course. So here we go. These wraps are amazing. You can actually use it on various things nowadays. So as you can see, hopefully a bit of, let's see what is going on this side. The wrap is only as good as the product behind it. That's the important part. You also have to remember, so if there's any marks or ridges or anything, we've got to remove them, because otherwise the wrap won't be straight and it will just come out. So there is a bit of a bump there. I got rid of that. There we go. That's all wrapped in. Right, so that's quite nicely done by the looks of it, as you can see. You can see that. Let's see if we can just turn the heat on. The good thing is, because the remote is already so sticky, it's actually going to stick on the vinyl so much better now. So now what we've done is, now that we've wrapped everything on, we will need a sharp knife, and that knife is going to just cut off any unnecessary vinyl that we don't need, like this here. That piece can go. Yep, there you go. I'm going to get rid of this piece and anything else. That's it. So that's gone, and once that is gone, we'll try the same technique here. We're going to cut that excess off, and here as well. Right, so that's come off as well. We'll wrap the part which we know we can inside, which if it will go in, but we don't have to wrap everything. Now this is the tricky part. What we don't want to do is we're going to cut that out enough so it can go in, and it just kind of wraps its way around. You must need a very sharp knife. In fact, this is a new one, so you can see that that's gone in right now quite nicely. And I think with a bit of help of a scissor you should be able to make this. Yep, I think it's coming along quite well. And then what we'll do, we'll wrap this up again. Just have to make sure we make it nice so it looks like it's exactly like black plastic and it's not a wrap. That's the whole idea behind it. We don't want it to look like a wrap. We'll heat it up again. Right, we've got to do this, and then we'll just, let's see if we can actually get this thing, and then that's it. Then we're going to make sure that this is, there we go, and let it dry, let it cool down a bit. I don't see any issues with that right now. It's looking nice, and can you see that? It's looking nice. If there is any bubbles or anything, hopefully they would go away. A bit of squeegee. Yeah, there you go. If there's any air bubbles, we can always open it up and press them out again. It shouldn't be any air bubbles. And if you feel that there are any, always the beauty of wrap is that they will still stick, and it will automatically go back on exactly as it was, hopefully, with a bit of heat, of course. But in this case I don't need a heat, so I think it's going alright. There we go, there you are. So let's see, that's looking good. Right, here's the finished product. I can show you now that the remote has, the top part is now fully wrapped, and I think I'm pretty satisfied with it. It looks pretty nice. It's not sticky, it's nice and clean, and basically it's not sticky, that's the main thing. So yeah, the wrap has actually done a great job, and the stickiness has been used in a positive way because it's now sticking to the wrap itself. Even if the adhesive on the wrap, if it's weak, it doesn't matter because the material behind it is quite sticky, so it's holding on to it well. But yeah, so that's all good. What we're going to do now is we're going to now put the sensor back on, so which is this one here. So that sensor will go in from the top first, I think. It goes in the top section first like that, and then the bottom part like that. So let's see if we can get this thing in exactly as it was before, just to make sure, because the wrap has to be also is a quite a tight area. This is in terms of where it can fit in. Yeah, that's all good. Might take a piece out because I think it's interfering with the clip section. It doesn't really matter because that can come out. Don't need that anymore. Yep, and that piece can easily come out. And we're going to get rid of this so it can give us the area where the clips can go in. Right, let's try this one more time. Yep, here we go. So I think that's how it should go in. Yep, there we are. Right, so as you can see, the wrap has gone on. I've got no issues, and look, it's come on quite nicely. Can you see? I'll show you a close up on it right now. It's coming on quite right. I'll use a heat gun afterwards once it's on as well if I have to, but as it stands I don't see a problem with it, given the fact that what it was before and what it is now, big difference. I've got no sticky stuff anymore. Basically the wrap is there just to protect all of that now, so it's not going to happen again. One bit done, one bit left. We're going to do the same with the bottom part, but let's put the remote back together again because that's more important right now. So let's go back into the section. So we need to put the plus button back in again. It has got these notches, so make sure they sit in at the bottom. Then we've got this piece here. Luckily my remote is pretty clean, otherwise if it's not clean you can always wash this all together with water or whatever. And that's fine, and that will go this way, so that's gone in. Now we've got these rubber pads. Once again they're pretty clean, so I don't have to worry about anything else. That goes in. Once that's in, now we've got the circuit board, that goes in as well. I think that's about it. And then we do have, the springs have fallen out, so I think these will go at the top. So if we're looking at it from this direction, yeah, that would go in there. We must remember to install the springs back in again. Now we're going to push this back in its place. Just one more time, just take the squeegee and make sure that everything is exactly as it should. We'll take, I think the top part will go in first, so yeah, that can happen as well. Yep, it's not the easiest one, I tell you, but we'll get there. I think the buttons need to come out, they're not coming out properly, so oopsie daisy, that's it, we'll get there. There we are. Let's put them in. The tricky part is to put the clips back in as they were, and because there's a technique to it, you can't just push them all in. There we go, that's in. Just make sure all the buttons and everything is right. Yep, so that's, if you start pressing them in, there we go, the button will, there we go, I can see them, they're all working now. So yeah, let's press them all the way around. Yep, I like the clicking noises, very good. Yep, yep, I can feel them, they're all working. That's it. And we'll put the batteries in to make sure it all lights up, because luckily we have some light in this. There we go, the light is lighting up, so we've got, yep, so the remote is now working absolutely fine. There you go, you can see that's working, so great. So that piece is done now. You can see the difference if I was to put that on, that one of them is nice and clean and the other one is all sticky. So we're going to put that up on that piece as well, and then hopefully we'll have a nice clean remote at the end of this. Yeah, let's finish this off and then we'll see. Make sure it's all pressed in place. Yep, that's all pressed all right. Okay, let's put another wrap on this piece here and get rid of all the other materials that we don't need. Actually, I forgot to put the screws in. Let me put the screws back in as well. One here and one at the bottom. One in the middle there. So that one goes in that way. There you go, that's one. And this one goes in there. Right, that's it. So that's all secure. Just need to put a lid on. Let's do the wrap on the lid now. So just peel this one so I can peel it up a bit. If the wrap is all curled up, you can always heat it up and then that will straighten it out. So let me just get this off. It's tricky at times. You can never tell. Where is it gone? Let me see if there's this the edge of the wrap or is it the edge of the paper. Hard to tell sometimes. Here we are. Alright, that is the edge of the wrap as well. Anyway, so right, we've got the wrap, got the lid, all sticky. Let me get this right. So here it goes. I'm going to make sure that it's coming even on both sides. And that is even. And then now this is the challenging part, the shaping of it, shaping. So this is where the heat will come in now in place. Let's bring the head right again. Too much heat is not good either. You can actually, so you just have to be right amount of heat so the wrap can understand what it wants to do. It's kind of nice material. I'm hoping that it will go on well because it just kind of molds onto any shape you want. So yeah. The edges are fine, we've got no issues with the edges or the front. Mainly it's the back piece that we need to sort of be very careful of, because that's what needs to be shaped by heat. There we go. Yep, I think we're getting there. The thing is, you don't want to cut any of this. It has to be wrapping itself around it. Cutting is not an option. The option is to heat it. Can take time. That's the beauty of wrapping, I guess. Remember to get rid of the air bubbles. Don't want any air bubbles. And we definitely don't want any excess creasing either. So that's where the heat comes in. We can stretch it, and we can definitely stretch it a bit. And this is where the technique of losing all the bubbles come in, because when you're stretching something it will just start to take shape of the item that you're trying to wrap it around. Don't stretch it too much, otherwise it starts ripping as well. So you need to just find the right temperature and shape, and then you can see that it's kind of going in its right. You can see that it's come on right. So you just want a bit more heat. A bit more heat just to soften the wrap again, to tell it that look, you need to wrap yourself a bit more. Right, so that's all good by the looks of it. Got no creases as such. We cut that because what happens is that the creases on the end will continue to reoccur if you don't cut them, so they would keep coming back. What we're doing now is we're now wrapping it around the item and saying that, look, this is how we want it, and it'll understand once we use a bit of this. Need to be quite firm sometimes. These air bubbles sometimes can be formed, but if you leave it and it will cool down, it will automatically disappear. The air bubbles are there because the wrap is a bit stretched and the air bubbles are coming in. I wouldn't be too worried about the air bubbles at the moment. Right, so we've got one piece left on this side. If we can wrap that in as well. Here we go. We're just gonna mold it in inside. We don't want to cut every piece out if we don't have to. I'm not too fussed. As long as it goes on and looks nice, that's it. Because what it was before was terrible. It was like so sticky that I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this? Right, so the piece that is, I'll call the problem, I think it's this one here. So we're going to definitely get rid of this one. There we are, that piece here, because that is going to stop the clip from clipping. There you go. So that piece definitely needs to go. Yeah, maybe this one here as well. So wherever there are clips, you don't want any wrap around that area because there's very little space around those pins where the clip goes on. I'm going to take it out from near the clips. Don't want any wrap around that area. Oh well, there you go, that's all come out automatically, that's good. It's done good for me. There we are. Now let's see if we can now make that. There we are, that's good. I'm liking this already. So, because we don't want to open it every time, we just open it once. Right, I'm pretty happy with this. There are a few, maybe, yeah, that's all good. It's going to go away now. We're just going to take off any excess. There we go, that's all good. I think the remote is a lot better than where it was before, and I think with a little bit of time, if I actually spend time on it, it will look absolutely amazing. Sometimes there is, you know, slight, and it also depends on what kind of wrap we're using, because this is, like, as I said, I bought it from Poundland, and it does have its you know, there we go, that's one bubble out, come on, here we go. Don't worry about the bubbles will come and go all the time, they would be easily taken out. So you just keep pressing it and it will go, and they will If there's any creases, they will go as well. Just press it down and the creases will disappear by themselves. You can play around with this. If it's the first time it doesn't work, do it again. That doesn't work, do it again. Get it right, it's not a problem. But you get the idea that if we have nice, wraps around the remotes, just like we have on cars, that they'll prevent it from sort of getting all sticky, and because it's just, you don't want to throw a remote away because it's gone sticky, even though it works, Right, I think I'm happy with the results personally, because if there's anything I need to do, I can obviously do it again, but for this video I think the wrap is great. There we go. So we have now wrapped up a Bose remote. Here we go. If you keep pressing it, I must admit I'm not a wrap expert myself, but I've done a fair few of the bits and pieces. So what I have noticed is that depending where the wrap is from, it will be different. Sometimes you buy the wraps from these big companies, they're really nice, they're a bit expensive, but then the wraps are nice. This is one of the cheaper wraps I think I bought. So these are, but for the remote purpose I thought I'll just get something really nice and cheap just to get it going. But yeah, for me to hold the remote and see, I think that's all done. Let me just put this on the side. Right, yep, so the sticky remote is now a nice plain remote with a wrap on it, and it's nice and smooth. Well, here we are. Well, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now, and please do subscribe to my channel, and thank you to all the viewers that have already been subscribing to my channel. Bye for now.